Hi everybody, this is Diane. I'm working again on the Women's Fashion Magazine journals, and I just wanted to show you what I finished after I turned the camera off last. I had made this paper clip, so then I just made this one, and I'm sure I'll be making more, but these were just the only two little pieces that I had available right at the moment. And then I did two of these tags, but I made three more. These are just a shipping tag with coffee dyed tracing paper cut to the shape and then glued on. And then I glued on one of my beauty ads from a vintage magazine. They are in my shop. The digital sets are in my shop, and I added some lace and some seam binding. So they're very easy to make. And then I had done one of these, I think, just one, but I said I was going to put some thread. My lighting isn't very good right now, is it? I said I was going to put some thread in the buttons and then glue them on, but instead I sewed them on and then just put a strip of paper there to hide the stitches. So this one is complete now, and you can open that up and write in it. And then I made a few more. This one I made a little bigger, but then I decided I didn't like it being bigger, so I made the other ones the same size as that one. And these images are also in my shop. These three are vintage fashion ladies. And there's more colorful pieces. You'll see some of those as I'm going to use them, I hope in this video. But these kind of help fill in some space on those journal pages or digital pages. And I really like these little images too. I've got so many of these images that I can put in my shop. And this one isn't in my shop yet, but well, hopefully by the time you see this video it will be. And it is Vintage Shoes Digital. So that's what I did after I turned the camera off. And now I've got my cover for one of the journals, which is just a white 9x11 envelope. I sealed this. I inked around the edges of this, and I'm going to do some Mod Podge. I want to put this image on the front, which is from TlcCreates Vintage. Her shop is on Zibbit, and I will link it below. And this is Women's Fashion Magazine, I think is what it's called, but I will link it below. So I want to put that on, but there's a lot of white space around it. So these are actually pages from my antique catalog or magazines. So I'm not going to be turning these into digital, so I thought I would just put them on the page as a background. And thought maybe I would add this coffee dyed doily. And I don't know what else. And I also have some things pulled for this side. I might add a little lace too. But today we're just going to do the Mod Podge part and let it dry. I can just leave that in there. So first I'm going to just coat the front with Mod Podge. It does smear that distress ink a little bit, but that's okay. I think it'll give this envelope a nice feel, having this Mod Podge on it. It'll feel less like paper. I think on the inside I will also Mod Podge, but I think I will just use scrapbook paper or digital paper on the inside. Haven't decided that yet. Aren't these really cool skirts? I looked up on Facebook the opening dates for the 2 flea markets that I always go to. One of them I go to every week if it's not raining, because it's an outdoor one, and they're open every Monday. The other one I go to, it's open every Saturday, but I only go once a month. And they both open the first week of April. So the one in the Barns that I go to once a month, that one opens April 3rd. And the other one that's outdoors opens April 5th. And in between there is Easter. April 4th is Easter. I better figure out what I'm doing before I put the Mod Podge on. So I'm excited. That's going to be an exciting weekend. And then I also saw on a posting on Facebook, there's another one that I started going to more recently, and it's the closest one to my house. But it's just in a parking lot. It's a good-sized parking lot, but it's not nearly as big as the other 2 flea markets that I go to. But they're only open once a month, and it's only on Sunday. So anyway, they start on April 4th. So they're open on Easter. That's their first day. So this past year, it wasn't so bad for me to go on a Sunday, because my church, with the pandemic, we weren't having Sunday school. We were having outdoor church, and it didn't start till 10. So that gave me plenty of time to go. I mean, our normal church service used to start at 11, but we had Sunday school from 9:30 to 10:30. But since we didn't have that, we just had our church service at 10. But now we just started having 2 services again, 9:30 to 10:30, and then, no, sorry, 9 to 10, and then 10 to 11. So if I want to go to that, I'm going to have to go before 9. But anyway, that's 3 in a row that I could go to right off the bat, the very first week. So I'm pretty excited. So when I looked that up, it was Friday. And that was 5 weeks. 5 weeks away. Now it's Wednesday, so it's closer. It's only 4.5 weeks. But who's excited? Whoop, laid it right down in the Mod Podge. I'll move her up here, and I'll have to put a little something there. I do have a few more things I should put in my shop. I want to go through my wallpaper again, because I have so much of it. I just hate to get rid of any of it, because I don't have any wallpaper that I haven't already listed. Like, what I have would be de-stash of wallpaper. But I do have some stationery that is new, but not enough to make a listing, so I wanted to go through my stationery again and see if I could de-stash some of that, because I really want to clean out anything that's hanging around that needs to go in my shop before the flea market season opens. And I'll just add a little bit of color down there that matches that. that will be the front cover. And like I said, I might add some lace to the front. You can't see that doily very well, but maybe it'll show up more once it's dry. Those edges want to pop up. I'll set that aside to dry, and I will start working on the other book cover. Which is a hardcover. This is the front. I wanted to put this. This is the only piece left of this. I put most of the napkins that I had in my shop, and I used some of it, and this is all I have left. So I'm glad I have this much left that I can put onto this book cover, because my images will feature women's magazines and women's fashion images from fashion magazines and catalogs, and also beauty advertisements. So that's what we have here, some beauty advertisements. So I thought that was perfect. And then these two pieces, I tore off another napkin. Guess I better put my Podge down there first. I use a matte Mod Podge, not the glossy. And I was thinking of putting one of my lady images. These are from my digital Vintage Fashion Ladies digital that's in the shop right now. There will be more coming, but it's going to take me a while to get everything in there, but I did enough so I'd have some for this journal. Yeah, I really like her on there. What do you think? She had some color, and I think that's good. I cut this one out in case I just wanted the neutral, but I really like this color. And the book is a very pale green, now that you can see much of it, but that's what it is. So I'm going to put her on. I never wonder why my hands are always a mess. And I don't know what else I will add, if I'll add a book plate or anything else to the front, but I like it's. We're off to a good start here with this. So I'm going to do the back cover. For this one, I just used a larger piece of the second napkin that I used on the front. And I have a couple smaller pieces to fill in at the bottom. Well, I see one. What happened to the other piece? I've been moving these, oh, here it is. I've been moving these pieces around on my table here today, so it's not surprising that a piece got lost. I'll just glue them all in a row down there. It'll just be, it's kind of a patchwork look on the napkin, so it will just continue that patchwork look as they all piece together. Oh, here it is. This is the other piece I had pulled out. And I have a little shoe here. This has some color on the back now because it's got some green and pink from the napkin. Okay. Well, that didn't take very long. So here we have the first piece. It's still wet. But maybe I can select something to go on the inside. I've got these vintage or digital wallpaper pieces. This yellow would go with the colors nicely. That's a possibility. That one's a possibility. I love that one. Even that neutral color might be nice. And that one kind of matches her dress. That's a nice one. These are mine. That one's mine. So I have quite a few sets. Maybe 3 or 4 sets of wallpaper in my shop. These are mine. All of these that I've just been looking at are mine. And that one is not. I love the vibrant colors in that, though. This one's Amity Bloom, I can tell by the strip that she does on the sides. So I think what I've pulled out is good enough. I will select from one of those. This matches the paper that I used here and on those journaling cards. So maybe I could use that. Okay. So what I think I'll do is, this measures 6 by 9. So I will just cut a piece of whatever paper I decide to use on the inside, one for each section. I'm not going to just like paste that down. So I'll just cut. What I'll do is I'll cut that all around, trim it, and then cut it in half and see where we are then. That's all I needed to do. I think I like this one. I like the way that it matches the dress on the front. The dress is a little more pink, but it doesn't have any other colors competing with it. But I love the design. I love the ivory color. So when it's trimmed, it measures 10 inches. So I'll just cut it at 5, and we'll see how it looks on the inside of our cover. It might be too small. Yeah, that's pretty small. So maybe I'll have to use scrapbook paper, but I'll keep that out and use it for something. Look at this scrapbook paper. If it had a color to it, I might want to use it, but I think it's a little bit too dull. The papers that I'm using don't have a lot of color. See, there's a lot of newsprint colors in this. There is color on the other half, but I want to insert some color where I can. I'm just looking for a pad of paper that I might want to use. It sounded like something fell out the back side of my drawer as I opened it up. I'll have to investigate that later. I'm sorry, I'm just looking through my pads of papers. I can pull one out and see if I have one that will work. I have that. I'm not sure if I would like that. This one might work. Ooh, look at that. Right off the bat. I think that's about perfect. Alright, so what did I say the measurements were? 9 by 6. So I thought it was a 9 by, I think I said 9 by 11 envelope, but it's 9 by 12. I don't know, maybe that's what I said. So I'm going to cut this part first to, let's do 8 and just a little over 8.5. If it's too tall, I can cut it. And 5 3/4. I think that's about perfect. So when this is completely dry, I will ink around the edges. I'm going to ink some more around here because I smeared what was there, so it's not very dark there. But I will ink around these edges and then Mod Podge these on. And then I will have my cover. Sorry, that was out of frame a little bit, wasn't I? But I am just going to let this completely dry. It's not quite dry in some places. Let's take a look at this other cover. That's obviously not dry yet, but isn't that pretty? I love that. And I like the way that the pale green cover shows through that napkin. That's good because I liked that color green. So we're off to a good start with them now, I think. I'm going to cut some of this wrapping paper that Peggy just sent me to be some pages. I had this one out and cut a piece of that, but then she sent me this, so I have to use some of this. Let's see. Can't remember how big I cut my pages. Where are my pages? It's almost 11 by about 8.5. I'm going to cut this at 10.5. No, I'm just going to cut it here where the fold is because it was almost there, so the page will just be a little narrower, which is fine. Just seems so small. It goes that way. Yep, that's good. Beautiful. So I'll put this one in the one signature book that has the envelope cover, and then I'll put a piece of that and the piece of this that I already cut into the other book. I'll put 2 pieces of this one in there. I could even cut some of these ovals and make paper clips or embellishments with them. I will need 3 pieces of this. I was just reading the edge here where it says the Evergreen Press, Walnut Creek, California. I'm going to trim this edge off because it had a bit of of a fold there, and then I'm going to cut the rest off the bottom and cut that brand off it. Okay. I'm going to have to stop working on the journals now so I can get, I cut that one too tall, but that's okay, I'll fix it. I've got to work on getting those other sets in my shop, listed in my shop. So that means I've got to prepare 2 more pages for the hats and accessories set, because I only have 3 pages so far. So I'm going to do that right now and get them scanned in, and then I'll get them listed in my shop so that when you see this video, they will already be there. So I thank you for watching today. I hope that you are intrigued by this wonderful fashion journal, and you'll see more in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.